Hi, and welcome to the Homemaker
and the Apprentice.
I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Audrey.
So welcome you guys today. As you see, this is kind of our office. We do it in the car a lot. That way we don't have to worry about noise. And so you never will know what might be behind you right now. There's part of, there's a Christmas tree box that we were going to take back. And we probably have some other things because it's that time of year where the car sometimes becomes a hiding spot for moms because they have to keep Christmas gifts under wraps. Haha. And so I have a lot of wraps back there so I can keep it under wraps 2 ways.
It's like when you put it in your closet and then you put the towel over it.
Yeah.
It's just blatantly obvious.
Don't look
There's
there.
No gifts here,
Don't
but
look
it's
there.
very blatantly obvious.
Yes, but I don't have a specific place to put gifts, which is why when I was going through trying to wrap presents for a birthday and Christmas, I realized, I bought these things a while ago, forgot about them, and so I end up sometimes with more things than I intended to give for a holiday because I try to be frugal by buying it when I find it on sale, or I think about something and then I forgot that I thought about it. So maybe that's kind of what we could talk about today is homemaking and how that can be very different depending on your personality.
Oh, yeah.
So
even just us.
Yeah.
Even just us.
So we're completely different about how we operate with things.
Glare from my glasses.
Yeah, that's okay. You get the glare. You're on the spotlight.
Yes.
But yeah, so I have tried all of my life to be a note person, to be a person who I tried to use a day timer back in the day. I went and bought all the fancy things and do it. I've bought planners for homeschooling stuff or just, a nice big calendar where I can write it all down. And they get used about, I don't know. I'm going to be generous and give myself 10% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I write them down. Maybe for a couple months. But I'm a person who keeps things up here. I've always done really well with it most of the time. I don't forget things very often. So it ends up working well for me. But I have always striven to be one of those more organized people that writes things down. And I'm not unorganized. I wouldn't say I'm unorganized, but I'm not a list person. I'm a list making person when I want to get something done. Yeah. So if I have like a list of tasks that I want to get done or for holiday meals or whatever, I'll make a list. But they're for the short term things. Like we're going on a trip. I need to have this stuff. I'll pack all that so I can cross them out as we go. But then Audrey is kind of more the opposite. She likes to write everything down. And yeah, if you see her right now, she has her notebook and her pen and she likes to write it all down while we talk. And so, yeah, we've been very different on that. And so that brings up the conversation. People say, what is a homemaker? What does that look like? And I think that's the biggest conversation that we come back to lots of times is, what I do works for me. And what she will eventually do is going to have to be her own thing. Just like, every other mom out there, every other family. No matter what size you are of family or anything, you're going to have your own groove. And to try to tell you to do it this way and that you'll have success, it really just discounts so many things.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many different personalities.
Yes.
But yet we then think that, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you must all be alike. The whole idea of every homeschool mom wears denim skirts. No. I don't wear denim skirts except for to church sometimes or something, but
honestly, I really can't stand those.
Yeah.
It might be controversial. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody.
Not the old kind. I mean, I found some really cute jean ones, but yeah, those old ones that you can't move in.
Oh, you can't.
They're horrible. Oh. So yeah, I remember reading that a lot of times when I was first, married or thinking about homeschooling and some of the like basics that people put out there was you need to kind of dress this way, you need to kind of look this way, you need to kind of do things this way. And so for the first few years of homeschooling, I'm trying to think, I'm not doing it the way other people are telling me to do it. I must not be doing it right. You're like, what am I missing? And then there's just some confidence that comes as you get older, but then as you've done things more times, you realize it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah.
And you can do it your own way. And you said you didn't want to look taller than me in the videos, and you just sat up straighter. So
That's the glare on my glasses.
Oh, okay. So should I sit up taller too? Because really, she's not taller than me in real life, but it kind of looks like that. So maybe she has a longer back than I do, because that was a thing with our kids. They had all very long backs. They got that from their father. And so I had this whole company I was going to start based on this. It was going to be a whole fun thing. So I won't divulge that now, because maybe someday I will start that company again, because it was a whole thing that I thought would be very useful for a lot of parents of children that have different body types. Yeah.
I did
So
not know that.
Oh my goodness. The business ideas that I have had in my life.
She is a business lady. She's a business lady. And she can do the craziest things with business. Like, we were starting out on this YouTube channel, and she just throws ideas out there. I'm like, where do they even come from? Where do they even come from?
I like to learn.
She likes to learn.
Yeah.
And she'll listen to books and podcasts all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
I do.
All the time on business stuff. What are you listening to? Oh, just a business book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them. I'm
over there with my cleaning podcast. My random thing.
And so this is the crux of the problem. If you try and say that all house keeping or all home making people are going to be the same, it's not, because we are all separate people, and you need to bring what makes you unique into your family and into your homemaking. And there's some other channels that we both have happened to watch, not because either one of us referred the other to it, but we've watched a couple of them, and I look at some of them and I go, oh my goodness, that would drive me batty. I couldn't do this thing, like that would be absolutely horrible to me. But I can totally see my daughter enjoying doing it that way. And so I one time I said to her, I was like, oh, this person that I've watched, she reminds me of you. And she's like, oh, funny, I've watched her too, and that's fun, because I like her a lot. And I'm like, yeah, but so many of the things that she does on her channel, I would never have the patience or the, enjoyment of doing it that way. But they are right up my daughter's alley, so that is what we talk about a lot. In all the home schooling moms, other homemaker moms that I've been around, I have yet to find one that's exactly like me. So to try and make it a blanket statement of this is what homemaking looks like, this is how you go about making a home well, it's such a fallacy. Just like we talk about, we've been talking a little bit about traditions, or what things you'll do with your children when they grow up. And I just kind of chuckle whenever she'll say something like, I'm not going to do that, or I will do this. And I say, well, maybe you will, but you first of all have to see who your spouse is going to be, because they're going to change a lot of the stuff. And then you also have to, just your lifestyle will change. Everything that you do, where you live, how you live, what kind of home you have in. All of these things play into it. How many children you have, how far apart they are, where their families are. Do you live close to just your family or his family too? Or, all of those things are going to affect how and what your traditions or the way that you run your family are. I didn't have any family around the whole time that we've been married, or parents. It hasn't been something that I've had. And so it is one of the things that I encourage all of my children. If you can stay close to either us or your future in-laws, I promise you, it will be so beneficial to you, because just knowing that you have an extra set of hands, arms, love around, that you can leave your children in a good way before you go think about having to do another business, or just being able to have a break. There's a difference between paying somebody to care for your children, no matter how good they are, and actually having family who loves and is really invested in making their life good. And so that's what I just try and encourage them about that. But all of those factors are going to feed into how different your homemaking
Yeah.
looks, you know.
Do you have family around or not?
Yeah. And what your spouse's schedule is. I mean, if you marry a fireman or, you know, somebody who works in the oil fields or, you know, a pastor or something, they're all going to come with their own constraints. And so trying to set, this is what homemaking looks like before you get the home and before you do it. And then having no children and homemaking will look different than having one child. And then when you add another child, you know, things are just going to be different. And so I think it's one of the fallacies that we have come across, that there's this good blanket statement for what is homemaking. It really, at the end of the day, homemaking is making your home special for you and the people that are in your structure. And if we just look at it from that standpoint, if we really try and invest in the people that are there, the ones that God has given us to our lives to be invested in, then you make that home well. And you know,
don't have to make it like anybody else's.
No.
It's really, it has been a thing for me being an apprentice to my mother over here. She has her own style. I have my own, and then I know every other homemaker has their own style out there. But it's just been trying to find mine because I'll see something that I like, and I'll go, "Oh yeah, I love that." But it's not necessarily me, or I might like it, but it's not going to work for me. Just like I've seen different ways of taking notes and different ways of doing planning for homemaking, and very few of them work for me for very long. So I just have to do it the way that I do it. And
it'll grow and
that's the way it
change
works.
too as you do that. So even if you find something that works well for you for this season, it might only work well for that season. And it wasn't a failure. It wasn't that you didn't do well at it. Sometimes we just grow beyond something or grow outside of something. And so locking yourself into that, we were talking about that too. We went for a hike with friends today. Oh, we got some cute birdies out there. Our little wrens are saying hi to us. But we went for a hike with friends this morning, and we were talking about some birds that we never got to see this summer because we hadn't gone for some summer walks in places that we do or at the times of night that we do. And because life was just different. And we said, oh, that's sad that we didn't get to see them. I said, yeah, but what would be worse is if we tried to keep ourselves so constrained to, we have to do this because it's this time of year and it's this season and we have to do these things. Because every year of life is different. Things are different. Both of my older kids were working and school, and there were late nights and other things. And so it wasn't the same as the year before. And next year won't be the same as this year because we've got all kinds of different things going on. And so, we just have to be good about that and not think of things as a failure if we don't succeed or carry on with something that we start. I think that was one of the best pieces of homeschooling advice too that I heard is, start a curriculum, start a book or whatever. And if you're not loving it, just because it's a good book or a good curriculum, if it's not working for your family, stop it. That's part of the reason that we homeschool. That's part of the reason that we're all in individual homes. You can run your home what works best for your family. We can run our schooling best for what works for our family. And then you have to, as you have more children, you realize
every
what
kid's
works
different.
for one kiddo doesn't work for the other. And one kiddo might have been great at sleeping through the night. The next kid's not, there's all these things. And so I always want to be careful whenever I say anything about homemaking or whatever. There's a way that I do it, and I like my way. A lot of it's been a lot of trial and error, and I'm still not sure on some of it. But it doesn't mean that it's going to work well for yours. Lots of people who have their husbands at home all the time have a whole different set of ways that they have to do things. Mine's not always around. And so, that's just a huge difference as far as the things that I have to do on a day-to-day basis and think about on a day-to-day basis versus somebody whose husband comes home every night and leaves at the same time every day. And, all these more structured environments, and it's not what I have. So I can complain about it. I can wail about it. I can, be frustrated with it, which sometimes I do get frustrated with that. But I also still have to operate within what our schedule and what our lifestyle is. And it won't be the same as somebody whose husband is home every night and can offer a break or a whatever. And so she's been able to learn some from that, just in her best case scenario, things that she would like to, look for and have in a future.
We need to do a video
spouse.
on that.
Yeah.
That would be a
It would.
good video.
It's a hard thing. And like I told her in that, and we'll come back to it in another one. But again, it's the same thing. You go into a lifestyle not knowing all the things that are going to come at you. So you can't plan for all of those things. I wasn't planning on living the way that we live now when I first got married either, or doing things the way that I do now when we first got married. I was totally different space of mind. I was running a business, I was taking my kiddos to work with me. We had a whole other thing going, and then to be on this side of it, but being too stuck in the mud about it is gonna lead to more heartache and frustration about it. So with all of the things that we talk about, I think it was just another good one to get out in front, not out of the way, because it's not in the way, but out in front. That take what we are talking about, what our conversations are, what she's been able to learn from me, things that I've learned from her, just as far as a different personality and things, and find what works for your situation, what might be something that you can try, and then, take what's good, leave what's bad, because we all have to do that. We don't, there's no globe that we get to look at that's going to tell us what our future is and how everything's going to go on from year to year. And so you just do the best that you can for that time and realize it's all seasons. And so that's one of the things that we keep talking about. It comes up a lot, just the differences between how we operate and how we think we would like to operate, and the constraints that might be there, because we don't get to control every factor of our lives, and so you have to learn to go with the flow. And
well, thanks be to God for that.
Thanks, yeah. And that's the best part of it. At the end of the day, I know I'm not in charge, and that is a blessing to know that somebody else does have it all figured out, and I don't have to. As much as I like to know what's going to happen and try to control things, I don't get to have that power at the end of the day. And so I can release it and say, God's will be done. And same thing with them, that I encourage them for future spouses. You can go into it as well prepared and as many conversations as you can have about it, but things will still change sometimes, and you just have to know that if you believe in God being in control, then he's got it, and nothing happens outside of his will. So I don't know, we'll see what else we want to talk about. We thought that was a good one to kind of talk about and make a foundation for conversations here on, so that you don't take anything that I say as like, I need to do it that way. And hopefully the give and take between us, the questions and the pushing back on things that I say, or why she thinks she might want to do something differently, will be helpful to you to know that there's multiple ways to skin a cat. Not my favorite phrase, but there's lots of ways that you can do things, and it doesn't have to be one. I know we don't even do anything with hunting, but that was kind of the only phrase that came to mind right there. So
I want to bring that up sometime.
What?
Hunting.
No. Okay. I have deep thoughts on hunting.
No, you'll see. You'll see in the next.
Okay. Okay. Well, some future time we'll have a video dealing with hunting.
Well, not really, but just I don't know, the psychology behind hunting and the things that go on with that. I'm not a hunter, please no.
Yeah.
But just other things.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I'm for hunting. I like hunting. I like other people to go hunting. I'm not sure how much I want to go hunting, but I'm very glad when other people go hunting and I get to have part of their catch. That would be just
fill
fine.
Fill up the fridge.
Yeah, fill up the fridge. Freezer. Probably want to freeze it. I don't think you could eat it that fast if you put it all in the fridge.
Some salt on
Yeah. No. Not home.
That was a random
homesteading.
topic. I'm so sorry.
Not homesteading
No.
topics right now. But anyway, you guys, hopefully there is something of value in what we were talking about today. We're going to just keep bringing things, just conversations that we wanted to share with you. That you never know. Never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to skin
Might
a
be
cat.
sitting outside
or hunting. Or
driving.
Yeah.
Or something.
I don't know. But anyway, last thing. If you guys like these videos, if they're helpful,
please like and subscribe.
we know it's kind of an annoying thing.
I know it's an annoying thing.
But it's the only way that our stuff is going to get out. So if you think that there is some value to what we have to say and you would like to share it with people and get more people to be able to see it, then yeah, hit that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up. I hate that. But so hit the thumbs up and leave a comment for us if you would like, because we'd want to hear what's good, what we might need to change. If you love our decorations in the back, that would be a good thing too. We might have to have something there every time so you can try and I Spy. And that would be kind of a fun thing. An I Spy on the video.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Just have to wait and see. So you guys, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy whatever you've got going on today, and know that we're thinking about and praying for anybody who watches this, that it will be helpful and that you'll just get to see that there's real people out there struggling with a lot of the same things that you are, and having questions and finding answers together a lot of times. So may the grace of God be with you today, and go have a good rest of the day. See you guys later.
Bye.